Resilience.
Yes.
Tell us about resilience.
When we talk about mental health, we may not avoid talking about resilience because resilience brings the idea of the capacity to endure life challenges and still move on without losing our mental health. So hiyo capacity, hiyo ability na competence ndio inaitwa resilience. But there's something I'm teaching you. So me growing up, I went to my uncle. And that is why today I'm courageous to even start things. So a man who goes through life without a father has a bit of fear in his activity.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode. We are talking about resilience and coping in mental health. And why are we talking about mental health? It's because we are preparing for a mental health awareness walk scheduled 10th of October 2024. I am Henga Baba na kama K kama D niko na mgeni siku ya leo. Tunaongea naye tujue hii maneno itakuwa namna gani. Courtesy of TakeMe-OutAdventures Kenya. Karibu.
Thank you Muhenga. It's a pleasure. Yes.
Majina kamili ya kitambulisho na na ya streets ni gani?
Naitwa Eliud Ngoko. I'm a counseling psychologist, certified and registered by the government of Kenya, a graduate of Chuka University, and still pursuing my higher level degree. And I work as a pastor also, serving with the JC Church, and it's a great honor to be a guest on this show, and we hope to learn and grow together.
Unajua ni vizuri umetaja your academic qualifications
Yes.
Usije ukasema ulisikia tu sauti ya Mungu ukiwa umelala kwa kitanda ukaamka. Anyway, away from that.
Yes.
Resilience.
Yes.
Tell us about resilience.
When we talk about mental health, we may not avoid talking about resilience because resilience brings the idea of the capacity to endure life challenges and still move on without losing our mental health. So hiyo capacity, hiyo ability na competence ndio inaitwa resilience. Na ni muhimu sana kwa mental health. Kwa sababu shida nyingi zile zinaishia watu kuwa na mental illness zinakuanga ni kukosa hiyo uwezo wa kuvumilia. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Coping.
Coping ni ndugu ya resilience. Ni ile hali ya kushughulikia shida inapoingia. For example today, let's take an example. As a young person, I see you're still young.
Yeah.
You are left by a fiancé. You have invested some time. How do you deal with that? That is what we call coping. How do you adjust to the new reality that this lady is moved on with another man?
Nikiwa pale namwambia haki na vile I've done everything for you.
Very true.
Alafu ananiuliza kama ni yeye aliniambia nimfanyie.
Yes. How do you cope with that? Jameni.
From the family perspective.
Yes.
How do you go about it?
Resilience and coping actually start is defined at a very young age. And I will give you this illustration. We are saying in our generation that we are not using the cane and we're giving our children soft life. Okay? This is the difference between the millennials and the Generation Z. Millennials try to avoid exposing what they went through to the Gen Zs. And that is why we are saying their resilience and coping mechanisms are a bit low comparatively.
Actually, nowadays on social media, you see the Gen Zs referring to, how they were brought up as traumatic events. Some of the things that millennials may take as normal,
yes,
to the Gen Zs are traumatic as far
events.
As bringing up a child is concerned.
Very true. And this is coming about because of a lot of exposure to Western media, a lot of education, so they understand their rights at a very early age, and the fact that also the way of life has shifted from the previous generation. So coming back to where you have mentioned, resilience at the family level. There are many challenges, Bwana Muhenga, zina happen kwa familia. Financial problems, dysfunction, alcoholism, wazazi kukosana, separation, sometimes even divorce. So let's speak to our generation and tell them that we have to learn to cope with these events. Sometimes they are bound to happen. And what our parents do is not our cause, is not our place to judge them, because their decisions are not our decisions. So inabidi unajikakamua as a person, as a young person, kurise to the occasion, to the new reality, because what do you do now? Imeenda hivyo imeenda.
Okay.
Mzee amekuwa alcoholic, mama amekosa job, the struggles are in the family. So resilience must come in at that level of family, and we have to learn to cope.
And how do we go about it? As far as now that you are talking about resilience, for example, financial challenges pale nyumbani, baba analewa kupita kiasi. Unajua kuna kulewa na kulewa kupita kiasi.
Irresponsible,
behavior kama zile, unaweza ambia mtu atakopu namna gani?
I'll give an illustration to show you how mindset and attitude affect how we respond to issues. A twin, those are two gentlemen, were asked one question. Why are you the way that you are? And why they were asked that is because one was a very heavy alcoholic, irresponsible, no family, nothing. The other twin was very successful, running multiple businesses, accomplishing the academics. And so people were interested to ask, why are you the way you are? And this is what they both said. It's because my father. So then the people were interested on why. And so the alcoholic said, I have followed in the footsteps of my father.
Of my father.
Because he was a drunk. The successful twin said, I became who I am, not to be my father. So everything I do is not to be my father. Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
Mindset for me is very key in a family. As a young person, when you find challenges, take them as motivation to become the best you can, instead of aligning yourself to those challenges. Because there's something, I think one of the university student leaders spoke sometimes back, and he said that education is a very great equalizer of a generation. So you have an opportunity, use it to change the narrative of your story, and you can be better, because you did not choose your family. God brought you into it. There's nothing you can do.
Before we move to the next issue, how these challenges are associated within a family, or that emerge from a family. So how do you neutralize them to ensure that you maintain good or positive mental health?
That's a good question. Because what we are talking about is childhood. We're talking also about adolescent stage. And we're talking about the early stages of youth, where you're very dependent on your family. So what I feel maybe can be a great help is to look for substitute providers of what you miss in your family. The right providers, because also you can go out there and meet the wrong opportunities to take advantage of you. If, for example, you are missing love in your family, you can actually connect to somebody who can offer that love. If there is no stability, you can look for somebody who offers that stability. And I'll share my personal experience, because I think it will be very fair to show our viewers that we face the same challenges.
Go ahead.
I lost my father at a very young age. So I didn't have I was 10. I didn't have a father figure. So what did I do? I went to my uncle. I made him my father in my mind, because I wanted to see how a man should operate. So I would visit him, sit with him, listen to him, talk to him.
Actually, you've brought up something very important.
Yes.
Because I do see it also online.
Yes.
A lot of people grew up without their father figures.
Yes.
And it has an effect in their life, in adulthood.
Their resilience and coping with the life problems.
And also approaches to some life issues.
Yes.
And online for instance pale online unapata hao watu ambao maybe hawakupata nafasi ya ku grow up na kina baba wanalaumiwa sana, wanaambia oh nyinyi ndio maana mko na umama, oh nyinyi ndio maana it seems we blame your mothers because you know they didn't teach you. What do you have to say about it?
Sorry to agree. And I'm not gender insensitive. Men are more logical. Women are more emotional in their build-up. And why God meant for the two to raise a child is to give a balance of the two. Where your father will throw up in the air, all the way up, to build your capacity to not to be afraid. But your mother will be shouting, going crazy. you understand?
Niliona video ingine pale baba alikuwa anafunza mtoto kuswim, amemrusha tu kwa swimming pool ajipiganie huko.
Na mwingine niliona mtoto anaenda kuguza stima, mama anaenda mbio baba anamwambia hold. Alafu akiguzu anapigwa, anasema now he will never do it again.
Do you think for you did you find it that hard now growing up without a father, growing up without a dad? Ulikuwa unaichukuliaje?
And that's the point we are in. That fathers are logical, they are strong, they are courageous, they are brave. They teach you life and how to survive. They will give you 100 bob and tell you plan for it and survive. Mothers are bit more empathetic and emotional, and this teaches children to be a bit more fearful in life. They don't take risks. You know, I'll tell you, as a father of 2 kids, I'll send my son a kilometer away. Mama will not be very comfortable. But there's something I'm teaching him. So me growing up, I went to my uncle. And that is why today I'm courageous to even start things. So a man who goes through life without a father has a bit of fear in risk-taking. They play it cool. But Muhenga, we agree with you. This generation will not be very, very kind to playing cool.
Very true.
You agree?
I agree.
You have to be a fighter.
Lazima ujipiganie.
Utabidi upiganie jobs. Fight for women.
Actually, that is very good.
Yes.
You know, the fact that ulichukua step ukamua I have to go and see my uncle.
It
speaks volumes. Unaona?
Yes.
Inaonyesha hata yule mtu labda pia unajua sasa kuna wewe ambaye uliluza at a young age. Sasa kuna mwingine ambaye alizaliwa hajawahi kuona hata baba yake. Unaona? So it does not mean it is over for you. Unaona? It does not mean huwezi pata a fatherly figure. Okay? To the social issues, which one of them is unemployment.
Very true.
Unaona? What do you say about it as far as resilience and coping is concerned?
I think, Muhenga, let me push you a bit back before we arrive at the unemployment place and tell you this. We have talked about what we are getting from our families. And I want to speak to single mothers right now before we move on. If you're raising a man or even a woman, because I'll give you this quote. Boys learn from their fathers confidence, but girls learn from their fathers love. And so as a single mother with children, please expose your children to a father figure as early as possible. Very important. It may be your father, it may even be a colleague, it may even be your brother, it may even be a brother to the father of the kids. But as long as this man is stable, is straight, is committed, is reliable, has a heart for mentorship, make them, the children, have a father figure in them. Let him even punish your kids. It's not easy to tell you this, but it is a need for that. And now coming from the family, the first place our resilience is tested is in the school system. Primary school, high school. How do you survive the competition? How do you survive the friendships? How do you survive the pains and the bitterness within the school system? So resilience is tested at the school level. Because when you come to the university, the first test you get, Muhenga, and I think you agree because you're university last, is the test of freedom.
Yeah.
Because freedom is slavery.
Yeah.
If not taken care of. It can bind you in a place you're not able even to move out. And the first shocker that hits people when it comes to the school system is that no one is following me. I'm in the university, I have my own room. I can go, I can sleep when I want.
Nobody is there to ensure that you do eat or not.
It doesn't matter. So one of the things that we are telling parents, start giving your children freedom and to learn to work with the freedom. As a parent and an advocate of parenting, I tell parents, start teaching your children how to make choices, how to make decisions, how to schedule their lives, how to focus when nobody is watching, because that is going to count when they go to high school and to university. So sasa wakimalizana na hiyo, sasa tunaweza ingia sasa mambo ya nini? Ya workplace.
Workplace, eh?
Yes.
There are different approaches, yeah? Kuna wale watabahatika wapate kazi.
Very true.
Na ile mahusiano pale kazini pia inakuwa wakati mwingine ni ngumu. The relationship between the employee, the boss.
Yes.
Wengine utasikia nakwambia the boss is too tough.
Very true.
Siwezi mvumilia, mimi naona kama nitatoka, unaona. Kuna mwingine atakwambia the workplace hainipendezi.
Actually, that's the word they using in the Gen Z.
Hainifurahishi. Kuna yule mwingine sasa hakupata nafasi ya kazi, ya kupata kazi, unaona. Sasa maisha kidogo kidogo inampiga chenga hapa na pale.
Very true.
Unaona. Sasa mtu kama yule kucope na maisha inakuwa namna gani?
Very, very true. I think let's go one after another. The issue of workplace, I think it's an easier one to handle before we come to unemployment, which is a bit heavier. Workplace, kusaidiana itatoka na saidi mbili. The systems must keep on changing. The way we employed people 8 to 5 is not going to work today, and it will start changing. Productivity is going to be the key. Where we say that as long as you as a Gen Z, you are productive, I think that's what matters. Actually,
the greatest debate that is currently running between the millennials and the Gen Z is that the millennials are accusing Gen Zs of being lazy.
Very lazy.
But now the Gen Zs are telling the millennials, we are not lazy. Is that the thing is that we realize our worth. You know?
Yes.
Because now the Gen Zs are saying millennials are used to being overworked with minimal pay till it has gotten to their system and they think that is how things should be done.
Yes.
Unaona? But now for a Gen Z anasema mimi masaa ya kazi ni saa 3, ikifika saa 3, ikifika 5 anafunga kila kitu at 5:45 imempata. No. Anafunga anatoka. Unaona. Sasa kuna hiyo mvurutano wanavurutana hapa na pale.
It's called the generational conflict of how we view work. And that is why we are saying even companies have to adjust to the new reality. It's not so much I need your presence. No, I need your productivity. And if you're productive for 6 hours, why should I keep you for 10 hours?
For 10 hours.
Okay? And I think companies like Google, you read about them, like Facebook, they have created that atmosphere. You'll not even find tables like this in offices. They will put coaches out there. They will not tell you to come with this very ironed shirt, or tell you just come the way you want, you know, because they have to capture the generational need of this current generation. But now also speaking to the Gen Z, I think it's also important to build capacity for resilience. Because this is the thing. When we keep shifting jobs to find where it's going to be comfortable, we may die in poverty. And there is a reason for that. Jobs are scarce. Opportunities are very few. And this is going to reflect in our next talk of unemployment. So when you get a job, be productive and negotiate from a position of productivity, not a position of comfort. Because if you negotiate from a position of comfort, the only thing the person is going to do is to release you and bring somebody else. And now you keep moving from one company to another, and you never settle in life. But if you really saying, I know my rights, I want to be happy, I don't want to have toxic relationships in the workplace or bosses that don't care, then be productive. Then negotiate from a position of productivity. That is now coping well and producing results. Now we come to an employment which is a bit now of a heavier responsibility. I want to start by saying that now our parenting should reflect the new reality. And how is this supposed to happen? From a young age, teach your kids to create money. Even when in the primary school, work with them during the holidays from a point of working. That if you have worked, then I give you pocket money. So that even when they are out of high school, they are waiting for university, and they're out of university waiting to get some work, they can do something because they have learned the aspect of work. And actually I was sharing with some parents, now I don't think I will operate with pocket money. As a parent, my children are not yet in boarding school, but I will operate with payments. The work you have done during the holiday is the work that is going to be rewarded.
Watakupeleka mbio, watakwambia it's your right, iko kwa katiba lazima unilee.
I'm the father. It's not about the katiba. It's about who I'm preparing you to be.
But something very important you've mentioned is the culture, because truth be told, our parents ambao most of them, hii generation iko before millennials, unaitaje? That generation, ni ile enda shule, soma kwa bidii. The system has been about grades. Get a good grade, be number one. Unaona? Enda form 4, pata good grade, ingia university, lazima ingia university, unaona? Ukimaliza university ndio uajiriwe, unaona? Hiyo ndio kitu, that is how tulikuanga conditioned.
Very true.
You see? Na ndio maana unaona hata wewe mwenyewe it will just get into you that when I am through the university, I'm supposed to wait for a job. Sasa mambo inakuwa job haipatikani. You see? Sasa and talking of unemployment, how would one save themselves from, there are these consequences that come about now that unemployment has hit. Kuna vitu zingine sasa zinatokea kama drug and substance abuse, depression,
toxic relationships,
loss of hope. Completely you talk to a person and they have completely lost hope. You see, you even try to convince them kitu tu kidogo or having just a meaningful conversation, they have completely lost hope. Of course you cannot blame them. There are reasons for that. So wanajikwamua aje kutoka kwa mambo kama hiyo?
I think that is I would call it's in pandemic proportions. The unemployment statistics as of now in Kenya, I think, is 40% plus. That's a huge percentage. That's a bomb waiting to explode. And I think you agree with me that Gen Z's protests were very successful because there were very many people available to turn up for the protest. It's a bad thing for a nation.
Sababu in fact one of the memes was just trending, na ilikuwa nasema uzuri wetu sisi hatuna kazi. So when you call us for maandamano, we just show up.
Tunatokelezea tu. That
is a sad state of affairs.
So it's very sad. So what I would want to say to everyone that is watching us, resilience is personally built. The system will never favor you. The family system is not going to favor you. The church system is overwhelmed. The academic system actually is churning out half-baked graduates just to survive. It's not so much about thinking about the student. It's about the bottom line, that we have money for the next program. You look at the labor system right now, the manufacturing is not working in our nation. The taxes are too high. You look at the way government is approaching the unemployment issue, it is not going to work. Because now promising people that you're going to do a housing program to give them work, is sidelining a major section of the society without work, because how many people are going to be absorbed in those projects? So looking at all those factors, it is not working with employment. So this is what I would propose for young people, especially in campuses and those who are graduating. You must seek to create something for yourself. Diversity is the only option right now. And the work like you do for the YouTube and the social media is becoming an option for those who really work hard. There's an option for, volunteering, even when there's no pay, as long as you remain sane. There's also an option for internships, if that is a door that can be opened. But in all this, what we are saying is you must never stay not doing anything. It's for free rather than not doing something.
Eri ujitolee.
Afadhali unaamka una walk along
tokelezea uonekana. You must be seen.
You must be seen, because that is where opportunities will come.
Now, unemployment is quite a large issue. Tukiamua kuizungumzia labda siku 3.
Iwezi isha. That's true.
Before tuingie kwa kamera, kuna kitu ulikuwa unasema watu wa siku hizi ni kama wavumilii sana, especially kwa ndoa. Watu wako na mioyo nyepesi. What do you have to say about that?
Wow, that's another...
Getting into marriage.
3 things that people are messing up. 1, ill preparation for marriage. Not many people who prepare for marriage. They get into it without preparation. Number 2, there is what we call very high expectations. Very high. So you're entering into a marriage thinking that what you see Camilla and Alexandria do on screen is what you're going to get. Flowers, kissing under the rain,
Siku zote ground is different.
No. Marriage is difficult. I've been there for 11 years.
Congratulations,
boy. Thank you. It is a hard journey. And the last thing is the misinformation that I think also mentioned before we came on camera. There's a lot of social media campaign to paint marriage as a bad institution.
In fact, it's like a jail term, eh?
Yes.
Unajua kwa sisi wengi tunasema ni kufunga pingu za maisha. Sasa kuna wengine wanasema in real life now it is the pingu. You are like in a prison.
You are in a prison. And it's the truth. But in this prison, you build a bit of autonomy and freedom for you to be sane, actually. So what I would say, getting into marriage, there are some things that people must release. And some of those things are those very high expectations. It's also good to be very clear in the communication. Cultural differences bring on the table. Put a plan of marriage in motion, where you say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what you're going to do. Do we agree? Negotiation is also very key, whereby you now say, let's negotiate for this. It can be as simple as how we spend our money to how we spend our holiday. You're able to compromise and give in here and there. You walk, she walks, he walks, you walk. That way it helps. But all in all, people must not expect marriage to be easy. It is built upon and it is catered for by the 2 people in the marriage.
Siku hizi mtu anakosewa tu kidogo kwa ndoa ama kwa mahusiano. Ashabeba vitu zake. Have you seen that?
It is very common. But also I think we go back to parenting. Because mhenga kama wewe ujai tusiwa na kwa familia, mtu akikutusi itaumiza. So if you're not very mature to handle it, you may feel like walking away. But this is what I want to tell couples. There is no one you'll ever meet that will meet your whole needs. But what you need to do is to actually build each other up. You complement their weakness, they complement your weakness. You take advantage of their strengths, they take advantage of your strength, and then you build something together. People don't stay together because they are compatible, but because they communicate. Because compatibility may not be a reality in many couples. Yes.
There's something else also you mentioned about something to do with putting everything at the table, something to do with, you mentioned a word like autonomy.
Yes, yes.
What about it?
Kwa sasa hivi kwa sababu ya generational differences mbeleni tulikuwa tuna na hii bado wazee mimi nakwambia naongoza chachi ya Gen Z wazee bado wanasimamia hapo ya kwamba you must do everything together as a couple. Budget together, spend money together, you know, do everything together. But nowadays we are moving away from that a bit. We are advocating for a bit of more autonomy, whereby if you can be able to have a marriage system that runs itself. And I'll give an example with the simple one. The simplest we can understand is finances. If a couple is earning 200,000 per month and the husband is making maybe 120, the wife is making 80, you don't have to bring that money together on the table and now start saying, okay, this is for
payday, nafasi lete hapo kwa meza yote tugawanye.
Mutapigana, marriage haitaenda mbali. But you can come up with a system where everybody has a way of carrying out their responsibilities in a self-sustaining system.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, resilience na coping in mental health. Tumezungumza mengi. Mtu asikukasirishe kidogo unataka kubeba nguo zako. Unaenda wapi? Solve issues mnakaa hapo mnaongea. Bwana mchungaji, ukimalizia labda sasa the parting shot yako alafu sasa tumalize.
I would want to say this, that life has its own share of you know, tragedies. And not only for things like family, school and employment, workplace, marriage, but we face losses, grief, and loss of family members, sicknesses, they come into the family. You realize opportunities may disappear. Life is full of those. And we as a people, if we want to maintain our sanity and mental health, we have to build capacity for that.
Yeah.
So as we close, I would recommend just 3 simple things that are practical and that can be carried out by every one of us. Number 1 is to build our personal capacity in terms of what we input in our minds and in our mindsets. Number 2, we also build a social system of support. That comes in handy, Bwana Mhenga, especially when you're facing a big challenge in your life. And finally, number 3 is my area, which I love, is spiritual, which means that we have a connection with God, that speaks to you when things are not very easy. So life is not going to be better, actually. Sometimes it is us who have to become better. And when we become better, we're able to solve out challenges that come. And anybody that is going through a challenge, let me encourage you and tell you that you're able to overcome it. It is possible to go through it and come out a better person. Actually, you can take advantage of that opportunity to rebrand yourself and look at life in a different sense. Are you separated? Are you divorced? Have you lost a job? Are your children indisciplined? Have you gotten into an addiction? It can be anything. Please don't give up. Rise up. There's a chance for you and God is with you. Thank you.
Hallelujah. God is with you.
Yeah.
Tunaweza tukakupata wapi?
Niko na counseling center inaitwa Flame Institute and Therapy, a professional institute where I do therapy and I train teams. And if you have an opportunity, I'll be glad to come. And I'm also a pastor serving a Gen Z church. We are at Ndagani, place called Tumaini, and I welcome you. The bio will be there on the video description, but my number is 0721 399 433. Again, 0721 399 433. Yes, I'm Eliud Ngoko, and it's been a pleasure to be with you as we go towards our Mental Health Awareness Day on October 10th, and I'll be part of that work. See you then.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not alone. Stop the stigma. Do watch, subscribe, comment. I Mhenga Baba will be there. I will participate. Je wewe. Thank you.